G'day. Um, I've noticed something interesting about the world of BFDI that has been sort of eating away at me for the past couple episodes of Tpot and BFDIA. But I've only just now decided, you know what? I might as well say something about it. Um, I, I think it's pretty clear to see the biggest flaw with BFDI as a whole, not just modern, not just old, but BFDI from its beginning, from its roots to now, is they have so many ideas that they want to pack in, but they don't manage to spread them out or cut the bad ones. And as a result, I feel very few get particularly fleshed out. In Teapot 14 alone, there was an A plot of getting to the flags, a B plot of Cloudy A continuously dying and one of them surviving and having to save the others, the C plot of the eliminated contestants trying to escape from that area that we don't know anything about, that D plot of one still being around but not really didn't actually do anything this episode, and then a bunch of even tinier plots within the episode that never really got concluded. Like the plan. Is it gone forever, or will it make a return? Who knows? And Pencil wanting Book and Icy to join her alliance again. Where'd that come from? And is that gonna get continued? Probably. It's a pretty major character, but when it's packed in with all this other stuff, it just feels... And Lewis is here now? I thought he was a BFDIA exclusive. And one isn't really being explored anymore? One showed up for like 3 episodes and then just pissed off and is being like hinted at. You've already done all the hinting. And what is Fiery Jr. doing here? Where did Okay, I know he got blown away, but like... He's fire. He can't just... he's not gonna die in snow. Fire, like... Whatever. They're making their... Essentially, the crux of it, is they're making their world wider instead of deeper. Which is similar to the main problem I have with the world of Harry Potter. J.K. Rowling had so many genuinely cool concepts, but she never went in depth on any of those concepts. She just introduced a concept, and then when it was convenient, and then never touched it again for the rest of the series, which at times led to plot holes. Polyjuice Potion could have been used 100 more times than it was. So could have Time Turners, and Port Keys, and Veritaserum, and Remembrals. Remembrals? Is that what they're called? And the list goes on of all these cool things she introduced, and then they were used for like 1 chapter, and then that was just done, and that was it. And a lot of the time she didn't come up with reasons for why they couldn't be used again. Anyway, I admit, it isn't as bad in BFDI, because BFDI has a team of writers who can sort of challenge each other, presumably. But with these mountains that were introduced in Teapot 14, they had never been seen before, and I worry they won't ever be seen again. There's so much stuff in BFDI, and so many characters, and we hardly know anything about most of them, both the characters and the locations, and the things. And that's a problem, I think. I would much prefer to watch a small world I know a lot about than a huge one I hardly know anything about. I should be able to become intimately familiar with the ins and outs of how the world of BFDI works. But I'm not. And we know in depth about like 3 locations and maybe 25 characters, if you stretch it. And that should be the entire extent of the world, I think. This sort of thing is part of the reason I prefer Inanimate Insanity over BFDI, because in Inanimate Insanity, the world is deeper than it is wide. We know quite a bit about most of the characters and locations, and that makes me more attached, because if I know everything about a few characters, that makes me more attached to those characters and locations than if I know a little bit about a lot, right? And as a writer and storyteller, your focus should be making your audience attached. Now, don't get me wrong, I by no means dislike BFDI. I love BFDI, or I wouldn't watch it. But as a long-time fan, I've been in the community for nearly 9 years now. I'm coming up on a decade of being in this community. I want what's best for the community. And to me, what's best for the show that runs the community is to go deeper. Now, this is just a suggestion, but it's a suggestion that I've sort of had in the back of my mind since BFB started. Maybe next season they can have a smaller cast and a smaller setting that we get to know intimately, instead of 100 characters and locations we know nothing about. I just think that would be nice. It would, and as I've been a long-time fan, I'm nostalgically attached to the first two seasons. And maybe that's where my opinion of that comes from. And you're allowed to disagree with me. In fact, I encourage you to leave your own thoughts. Leave a comment, make a community post, make a video, I don't care. I want this to be a discussion and not just me rambling. So, yeah, that's essentially all I have to say. Tell me your thoughts. Thanks for listening.